Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Welcome to DivTech 101, aka Black Mentor, as we discuss information technology, also known as IT. In today's episode, I'm going to show you how to clear and free up some space on your Mac computer if you're running out of space or need to kind of help you get rid of some technical glitches. This will kind of help you out. So I'm going to show you a couple of tips today. So before we get started in that, we're going to go ahead and grab you some coffee if you haven't. I definitely love to drink coffee, as you can see, but this kind of helps me do some really good IT work. So having a cup of coffee, something to drink and something to snack on kind of helps me get me in the mood to really just kind of do my thing on the computer. So one of the first things I want you to do on your MacBook computer is basically close out any and all applications that you may have open. You can just simply go up to the top upper left hand corner, click the X, or you can go into your Apple logo at the top and you can click on Force Quit. And what the Force Quit would do is basically show you a list of applications that you can actually close out once you click on them, and that will help you get all those out, because you're going to need to do that before you start clearing things. Now, one of the first things that I would recommend that you do after doing that is if you go up to the Apple logo, upper left hand corner, and you're going to scroll down a little bit and you're going to go to About This Mac. Once you go to the About This Mac, it's going to pull up kind of like your settings screen in a sense. And this is going to have all the necessary information that you need in terms of getting support for your computer, even reaching out to Apple to get hands-on support if you purchase that Apple Care, looking up your serial numbers, memory, startup disk, all that kind of stuff, even running system reports and updates. But for the purpose of this video, we're going to go ahead and we're going to click on storage. When you click on storage, you're going to be faced with this screen right here. I'm going to pause here for a second, kind of let you take a look at that and see what we're about to get into. So one key thing that you must have in mind is you're going to end up clicking on Manage. Once you click on Manage, you're going to see a whole lot of different things there on your computer that you're going to want to take a look at. Now, keep in mind, mine's going to have a whole lot of stuff on here because I actually have a lot of things locally stored, but I also have things in the cloud, and also have a 4 terabyte station within the office here, just to save things externally too. So I do need to go in and clean up some things there. So what it's showing me there at the top is going to show the number of gigs that you have available versus what you have locally on the computer itself. And basically, Apple's going to give you some recommendations. You can run those recommendations. Now, if you do the review files, it's going to basically show you a list of all of your files. It's going to have the file names and things like that on there, starting with the file that has the most amount or holds the most amount of data versus the files that have the least. Then also you can turn on the option as well, which I recommend, for the empty trash automatically. That's going to go span out over the course of 30 days. So you may want to definitely keep that in mind. And also, if you have an Apple TV, that's going to help you save some space automatically with that, in terms of like removing like movies, TV shows, and things that you've already watched on your Mac. And last but not least, you have your store in the iCloud as well. Now, one of the parts you can take a look at, which I definitely recommend, is if you look at the applications up at the top, you can basically sort the applications if you want, especially by size. Oftentimes they're going to be already pre-sorted for you. If you want to look at the smallest, you just swap them up just like that by clicking the little up arrow right next to it. If you want to sort it the other way, you can, at least by last access kind or name, but I prefer to do it by size, so that way you know what's taking the most amount of space up on your Mac. The second section is you have your documents. Documents are the same way. What your Mac is going to do is basically sort everything from the most amount of gigabyte usage all the way down to the megabytes, and sometimes the kilobytes as well. But this allows you to see what you have on your MacBook in terms of your large files, your downloads, and any unsupported applications. So you have additional fields there that you can select to sort through and permanently erase those files that you no longer need. Same thing applies to your iDrive. Once you enter in your Apple ID preferences, it's going to tell you the amount that your iDrive is using on Google storage. Now, I definitely have to do a second video on this, but there is a way that you can actually get Google Drive to actually automatically back up your MacBook or your Mac computer and offset those files to Google Drive. It just costs a yearly premium. You can get like up to 2 to 4 terabytes of space for less than like $100 a year, or you can keep it straight through Apple if you want. Same thing applies as you're clicking down through the list, but just for the heck of it, I can go into the trash can here and basically simply just empty trash, and it lets us know that once you complete this action that you cannot undo this. I'm going to go ahead and do empty trash, and you're going to hear the magic sound, and there you go. It's going to take away the trash and everything. And so as long as you're following those recommendations, those are going to help. As well, since I haven't emptied out the trash, I'm going to go ahead and turn that on. It's basically just going to let us know that the items left for more than 30 days. So at that 31st day and out, counting from the time that you actually enable this, is when it's going to automatically save that setting later in your Finder preferences. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that on there, and it's going to show me that I've completed that. As well, I can go in here to review some files as well, and I can start to delete those off of the Mac computer here. I can definitely go into the downloads and do the same thing, as well as the unsupported apps if there are any containers and files in the file browser. And you can see for any attached files or folders, you can also see the amount of information that is in there. And luckily up here at the top, you see like 192.84 gigs. It's basically the amount of local files that I have stored locally on my Mac right now. Now what I've done is already back those up, so I can easily go in here and easily clean up more than almost 200 gigs worth of information for sure off my Mac right now at the drop of a dime, because I've already backed up that information. If you're definitely interested in that secondary local option that you can have, like a network attached storage or a local NAS within your home, there's another video that I made with the Buffalo NAS that I got. It's very, very helpful. I really like it a lot, and it really saves a lot of time. But definitely follow the recommended practices first, and then I will start from the bottom and work my way up to the top. And the reason why I say that is you start with the smallest stuff, and you constantly work your way up, and that way you're able to delete the things that you need to delete. So once you pretty much do that, that's pretty much it. You don't have to do anything else in there. You don't have to change anything. That right there is how you basically save some space, erase some things off your Mac without even buying anything. No special programs, all included within your device itself. Now, from that being said, that pretty much wraps up today's episode, people. If you definitely liked the video and have learned a lot, please definitely like and subscribe to the channel. Definitely like the video, because when you like it, it actually shows me that people are actually paying attention and they like the content, and I will definitely work on creating more. How else could I know what you all like if you haven't subscribed and liked the video? So thanks for watching. Tune again soon.